It's Monday, June 26th, I think, 2023, and it's a beautiful morning, and we're heading right off the coast of France into the English Channel. And our goal is to get to Falmouth in southern England sometime tomorrow, not really sure when. Don't have much wind at the moment, probably 6 or 7 knots of wind, something like that, but we're doing about 3 to 4, sometimes 5. The waves are fairly small, but there's a fairly big swell coming in off the ocean. We were going to go straight towards Ireland. That was our hope, but there's a big low circling around Ireland right now, and it's making the Irish Sea pretty boisterous. So we decided to go straight across to England and wait for a weather window from Falmouth to Cork. Mainly because that way we only need like a 2-day window instead of a 3-day window. So by going to Falmouth, we're cutting the distance of the trip a little bit by about a third. So that just makes it that much easier to find the right weather window to get to Ireland. We left really early today. It was about 4:30, and it was dark, but because of the currents in this part of the world, and the big tides, you really have to watch the current. But now we're pretty far from land. I mean, you can still see the land, but it's away from the big currents. And but we're getting into shipping, so that should be interesting. Here's the first many ships that we'll probably see crossing the channel. I don't know what it is, maybe a ferry or something like that. It doesn't look like a cargo ship. Fairly big swells here. 6 or 7 foot maybe. It's about 4:30, and the big waves have calmed down a bit. It's still going along nicely, about 4.5 right now. And we're just about approaching the shipping lanes. So here's our AIS screen, and you can see that we are in the shipping lanes. When you're in a shipping lane, you always have 2 questions. Number 1, are any boats going to come really close to us? And number 2, are they going to pass in front of us or behind us? So I'm going to select the ship that's approaching from starboard, and we can see that the closest point of approach is going to be about 1.3 nautical miles. So that's not too bad. We shouldn't have to worry about it. But we do want to ask ourselves a second question. Are we going to cross the bow of this big ship? Because if we are, we have to be a little more careful. An easy way to do this, if you've got an AIS, is to look at the ship's bearing. In this case, it's 55 degrees. So that's 55 degrees relative to our bow. If it was directly ahead, the bearing would be 0. If it was to starboard, it would be 90, and if it was directly astern, it would be 180. So if the relative bearing is decreasing, the boat is going to pass in front of us. If it's increasing, the boat is going to pass behind us. So let's wait a minute and see what happens. So here we are a minute or 2 later, and if we check the bearing, you will see that the bearing has increased to 58 degrees. So the ship should pass behind us. Let's wait a few more minutes and see what happens. So here we are again, and the ship is much closer. And if we check the bearing, you can see it's increased again to 75. And clearly this ship is going to pass behind us. No problems there. So an important note. If the ship is approaching from port side, then everything's reversed. In other words, if the ship is going to pass in front of us, the bearings will increase, and if it's going to pass behind us, the bearings will decrease. So it's Tuesday the 27th, and that is the lizard behind me, the famous lizard. It's a point off Falmouth, and Falmouth is, it's, you can't really see it, but it's over there somewhere. We can just about see it. And amazingly enough, our first glimpse of England, it's gray and almost rainy. We just hoisted the yellow quarantine flag as required, and yeah, we're ready. I'm ready to get there. So we're going to go into Falmouth Harbor, and hopefully they can have a mooring for us, and we'll take it from there. On this. This is the first time I'm trying this like this. So we had we did the crossing. It took a little bit more than 24 hours. We left about 4:30 and we arrived about 9. So, and actually it was 9 UK time. So I'm not sure if we lost or gained an hour there. Anyway, pretty easy. The night is so short it hardly feels like a night passage. And nothing really went wrong. No big drama other than all those ships. And we lost the outhaul for our mizzen. It chafed right through, so it was a brand new outhaul. I guess it wasn't heavy enough, it wasn't strong enough. It's kind of funny. I'll make a video when I replace it, but it can only use a small diameter rope for the outhaul, and so I used a small diameter one, and it chafed right through in one passage. So it was obviously too small. So I had to figure out something new for that. I don't know what happened to the old outhaul. Anyway, I'll figure that out. I also want to replace the mizzen halyard, which right now is 2 pieces of rope kind of spliced together. I want to get rid of that. So I'm sure there's loads of chandleries here in Falmouth, and we should be able to find pretty much anything we want. I'd like to do that. Replace the mizzen halyard and obviously that outhaul. Really, really sad to lose the mizzen. It really helps the balance of the boat, and I love the mizzen. And the fact that we didn't have it made me sad. So I'm gonna fix that. Top priority. We've got the awning up. It's a little drizzly, or it was. Right now it's not, but we're in England, so I guess it could drizzle anytime. But it looks beautiful on shore. I'm starving, so I'm gonna have some eggs and something to eat, and see if I can get Helena off the boat. She's kind of tired, so I'm gonna have to motivate her a bit. But once she's ashore, she'll be fine. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Gotta launch the dinghy though.
It's probably the main pier. There's a lot of tourist boats that leave from this pier. I guess they go to see maybe whales, maybe seals, I don't know. There's the yacht club. Very nice structure. They have their own tender. And they take around their prestigious members.
This is the very place that the original Golden Globe race, won by Robin Knox Johnson, started and ended in Falmouth, probably from one of those piers. And this is like the main drag in Falmouth. Lots of tourists. Elena in her new French sweater. Very elegant and chic. So we must be in England. It's a whole store devoted just to gin. tour bus. It's really high and really fast. We get to look inside people's gardens though. And their second story window house. This is Pendennis Castle from Henry VIII days. It's not very big.
Watch your step.
Okay, we're now on the roof. Just to give you some idea where we are in Falmouth and Falmouth Bay. Over to my right at the end of the headland, the furthest headland, you'll see some rocks. They are called the mangroves. Just on the other side of those rocks.
There's the castle there.
Well, what we're going to do once you've had a look up here, we're going to go down these steps onto the governor's roof.
We took a wrong turn and somehow ended up in Texas.
Having a good time.